Okay, so looks like we lost Larissa, but that's okay. I can share my screen. Currently at the soccer field right now. So my Wi-Fi is not great. But... Shay, do you want to share?
Yeah, one sec.
Looks like Lewis is coming back in.
Okay, I'll wait because I'm not a host.
You there, Larissa? It's a great night for technology. You there, Larissa?
No.
Okay, maybe I'll share the co-host as well. See what's going on. Shay, I've made you co-host, so maybe you'll be able to present.
Okay, I'm good.
Oh, hi, Liz.
Larissa, can you start this?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
great.
Okay. I can't share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Alrighty. So to start it off, we're just gonna introduce ourselves.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Shay Batty. I started playing soccer when I was 3 or 4 and just started playing on the Ladysmith club teams. When I was 7, I got put on a new team where I had my first female coach, Kathleen, who is well known in Ladysmith and Nanaimo. She really helped shape me as a player. Then I eventually started playing rep for a couple years and tried out for VIPL when I was in grade 9. And I actually didn't make it, and I was pretty down on myself at first, but I knew I truly loved soccer and I knew I had good potential. So I challenged myself and played for the boys rep team for a whole year. And then the next year I tried out for VIPL again, and I made it. And that led me to where I am today, which is a winger striker on the VIU women's soccer team. And yeah, so the big takeaway from that for me was me failing in grade 9 only led me to push myself to be a better player every single day. And if I didn't fail that day, I don't know if I would have had the same amount of work ethic and motivation as I do today. So if you don't make a team or don't have a good year, don't let that push you down. Let it be like a challenge for you to work harder than ever on yourself and your skills, and you will not be disappointed. So that's me.
Hi, Ron. My name is Kara Dunlop. I'm currently in my 3rd year of the education program at VIU. I grew up playing soccer in Nanaimo for Nanaimo United, which used to be HCFC. So I played there all throughout my youth, and then I played a lot of sports in high school. I played basketball. It was actually quite a hard decision which route to go in university, but I think I made the right choice. And then I ran cross country and track and field too in high school. And I think that's what set me up for being successful today, is playing as many sports as I could for as long as I could. It's definitely hard, but having coaches that understand the importance of multi-sport athletes is really beneficial. And I think my biggest advice to any young athlete is to cross train. And yeah.
Okay, so this is me. I'm Larissa. I'm from Qualicum Beach. I played with Oceanside Youth Soccer until I was from 5 to about 12 or 13, I think. This is me on the right in black in the yellow photo. And then I played VIPL, which is Vancouver Island Premier League. And it's kind of like a tier 2 team on the island. And that was a lot of fun for me. So I played that until I was 18. And in high school, I played a lot of basketball and a lot of soccer. We had basketball and soccer specific PE classes, which was great. So I got to play it in school time as well as after school and on club teams and school teams. And yeah, I've loved soccer forever. I remember, I don't know, I must have been 3 or 4 years old and I was watching my brother play soccer on the field and I just remember thinking, oh, I can't wait for that to be me. And I really find I'm a lot happier in my life when I have a soccer practice twice a week. It's something that's really healthy for me and I kind of want to continue doing until I physically can't anymore. So yeah, that's me. This is Kanai.
Hello everyone. I'm Kanai Yamamoto, and I'm a third year in university. And when I was 7 years old, I started playing soccer. And when I was high school, I was playing for a local club. And after I graduated high school, I came to Canada and I started playing soccer for a year. Thank you.
And
Hi,
then we have
everyone. Yeah, my name is Kevin Lindo, as I said, head coach. I guess a little bit about me. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm not from Canada. I'm adopted. I came from Northeast England, a place called Middlesbrough. Yeah, soccer's always been my life. I was able to travel and coach it and play it. Being fortunate enough to do that. And then VIU came calling because my wife was attending nursing here. So we moved from England. She's from Abbotsford. And we moved from England to Nanaimo, which was a bit of a shock culture, but I was so excited to get here. And then the VIU job came along actually when my wife left the university. So she came out, I went in, and it's been awesome to have an association with the university and basically work with these young adults. They're phenomenal representatives of the community, as you can probably tell in their introductions. So that's enough from me. I'll throw it back over to you, girls.
Oh, and then it's also important to note we have our assistant coach, Zoe, here, who is also a former player. So Zoe, you can introduce yourself if you want.
Hi, my name is Zoe. I played for VIU for 5 years and then went through the CCAA coaching mentorship, and I've been helping out for the last 3 years. And I love it.
Nice. So why university sport? First of all, like-minded individuals. We all have the same goal. Anyone who is an athlete, they want to win in some way. Everyone is so competitive. And when you're all together, you just make the best team. And it's like family. It is so amazing. I cannot stress that enough. Like soccer is just one part of it. There's a whole other part to it that is just like you have a whole nother family, and it is amazing support. High level of play. It is definitely the most competitive I've ever played. And it is so fun because you're never the best. You have someone under you and you have someone above you. So you're always fighting to be in a good spot. Health is a huge, you're always making sure that you are doing the best things for your body. And that's not just for soccer, it's for yourself, which is great. Scholarship opportunities are also great. Save some money for school. Also, you get volunteer opportunities. You get a lot of opportunities just being on a team. It's really, really cool. Travel every weekend, like everyone is missing traveling so much. We were just talking about this at practice the other day. It's just like an experience that you can't miss out on. if you are debating coming to university to play sport, do it. It is so fun. Can't stress that enough.
And then especially like the transition from high school to university can be difficult for a lot of students, but when you're with a group of people, you have friends going into your classes, and even people who don't play soccer, like other teams, you see them wearing Mariner gear and you're like, oh, like we're in the same boat, like I know you. And then just staying active, like often people who aren't involved in any type of physical activity in going into university can have their coursework kind of overwhelm them. So having that outlet to be physically active is really beneficial for your mental health, your social health, and also your physical health also. And then we have a really special opportunity at VIU because we're the only team in the Pac West on the island. We get a pretty unique experience compared to other teams because we get to travel every weekend and spend that quality time together, whereas other teams on the mainland don't travel as much. So it's really special that we get to do that. And then when we go to nationals, they've been to places all across Canada. The last time we went was 2019, which is actually the last time we all played together. Was in the national finals in Edmonton. So that was really cool. And we played in a blizzard.
Totally. And also time management, I feel like is one of the scariest things people think about. Just like having to do school work, even if you're in, say, like nursing, which is very high workload. Honestly, like playing soccer and doing school is like, that's my favorite semester because I feel like I get everything done. When I don't have soccer, I'm like, oh, I'll do it in an hour. And then I never do it. But when I have soccer, I'm like, I have to get it done. And I just feel like I get the most out of it. But
yeah, so we could probably talk about this all day, but we thought we would show you kind of what it's like. This is a video one of our teammates, Haley, made when we went to nationals last year. So hopefully it works.
I have to unmute myself. Okay, here we go. Does it sound good? I love that. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, so our next slide is supporting women in sports. So I know I've personally heard the insult kind of, oh, you play like a girl on like, the playground a lot when I was younger. And honestly, playing like a girl is a compliment if you are a female. Of course, I play like a girl. I am one. And honestly, I'm very proud to play like a girl. Some of the facts I found about female soccer players, especially, is one about Christine Sinclair, who's the captain of the national women's team here in Canada. She's been playing for that team for over 20 years, and she's actually scored the most amount of international goals ever, not just for women, ever. That's more than Cristiano Ronaldo, who has 102. She's 186, I think, which is so impressive. So when people say, oh, you play like a girl or you throw like a girl, take it as a compliment, because I think that's a great thing. Another thing, if you play sports, is you want to try and be an athlete for life. So a lot of girls stop playing sports between the ages of 9 to 14, kind of, when you're growing, your body's changing, you're going through puberty, and a lot of other things are happening in your life. You might be starting high school when you're 13 these days, and your friends are getting jobs, or you want to have a social life and hang out with your friends. But personally, being sports has given me all my close friends I have in life, and it makes your life so much more fun when you're out there playing the favorite sport that you play, or going to your fitness class with your friends. It's very rewarding. And you want to try as many sports as you can, especially when you're younger. So as Kara mentioned, she played basketball and volleyball when she was growing up, and so did Shay, as well as soccer. And you never know what you might like best. And it's also very helpful if you play a sport like basketball, say, and soccer, like I did growing up at the same time. Your fitness levels bounce off each other. So if you're fit for basketball, you're a lot more fit for sprinting and soccer. And if you can play 90 minutes in soccer, you can probably play a whole basketball game as well. It's very rewarding. And you want to be an advocate for females in all sports. So if you can see our photos down at the bottom here, on the left is our team. In the middle, you have the VIU women's basketball team. And on the right, you have the VIU women's volleyball team. And we all want to support each other. We're all females in sports. And yeah, we want to support each other. And we also want to celebrate achievements. One thing I've learned in one of my classes at VIU is that when you have an achievement, you don't want to kind of overlook it. You actually want to celebrate it, unless it might not feel like you've actually accomplished anything. So, when you win the gold medal or when you get the MVP award, reward yourself. Tell yourself that you did a good job, because you probably did. And here's a quote from Serena Williams, who is also an amazing athlete. She has been between the top number 1 to top number 7 singles women's tennis player in the last 20 years, which is an amazing achievement. She's won 23 single Grand Slams, I think, which is, I think, more than any man has ever won as well. And every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We are strongest when we cheer each other on. And that's our slideshow. I'll unshare.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
You can type them in the chat or just say them out loud, whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. I'm just here because, well, I just reopened a Facebook account after some time off, and I was like, wow,
Love
there's
that.
something to do. But I'm looking into playing soccer with women. I joined a man's team in 2019, and we played up until we could, and then we couldn't anymore. And I'm the only girl on the team. And now I go out and support them on Saturday mornings. And they're like, Maeve, we want to play with you. Why don't you just play? And I'm like, because there aren't enough girls around. So I thought I'd get on board here and just see. Now, I know you guys are younger. I'm 37. Yeah, and just see if there was anyone, interested. And you guys are on the island as well. There's a few things against me here, but I'm trying to figure out, like, how to get a few women together to play with the lads, to play mixed on Wednesday nights in the future.
I love that idea. I also played on a boys team and I loved it. It definitely like helped push me, and I think it'd be really good to like mix it up and have
Yeah,
everyone do that.
different ages as well, you know, but
Yeah.
they're all like a good, very good standard. Some of them are in their 50s. It would probably end up, you know, going kind of 20s, 30s, 40s maybe, or just 20s and 30s. But, you know, you don't know what'll happen. But yes, I don't want to be the only one playing, and they still want to play with
Yeah,
me.
where do you play at?
Windermere Secondary School, out, you know, like, where is it near? It's like near Nanaimo, and I can't even think of the side street right now. It's
Okay.
Windermere, though. Windermere Secondary School. Look it up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds great.
we do
Especially
indoor as well. Like there's indoor and outdoor, and we're starting to get that together on Wednesdays. I think they want to leave it at just men only on Saturday mornings now. But yeah, cool. I'm glad you're interested. We should like, you know, swap details at some stage.
yeah, you can even I can put my email in the chat and we can talk about it. And once restrictions are better, I'll put it out to our team and we can figure something out and try and get people out.
That'd be amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that'd be really fun.
Okay. That's why I'm here.
Great, thanks for that. We've got a question. How do you deal with all the anxiety of playing or in general, just the anxiety of being a student athlete? Who wants to go with that one?
Well, the first thing is we do a lot of work. We have I don't know exactly what, Jeff's a sports psychologist and he works with us quite a bit, just giving us little tools to use during the game. So like one thing he said that's always stuck with me is if you're having a bad game or like things aren't going well, you imagine yourself like in a box and then you physically jump out of the box. So like if you ever see me just randomly jumping on the field, like that's what's going on. Because you're in one mind frame, you kind of just jump out of it. And then another thing is because you're surrounded by so many like-minded individuals, like I said, everyone's going through the same thing. So like you always have someone to lean on, an older teammate, or even sometimes the younger teammates. Everyone's gonna support everyone. So you can, at least on our team, go to anyone and talk through something.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And also for me, breathing techniques are really big. I used to get like really bad like asthma attacks on the field, but it was like sport induced. So it's like when I work myself up and say I'm not having a good game, I'll start like having like a mini panic attack. And so I've had to work on like breathing in like slowly, and then having really long exhales helps me a lot in the game to like refocus and be like, okay, I'm fine. I made a mistake and now I'm going to move forward. And like I've always done that and I think it helps me a lot.
We also have quite the pregame dance parties in the change room that definitely help with the pregame jitters for sure.
Yes, exactly. Any other
One thing I like to do, I try and do it before every game. Sometimes I don't, but I often, when I forget, I notice a difference. So sometimes you have to do it at halftime, but you visualize yourself being good on the field, or, you know, being successful on the field. So at the beginning of the game, or, you know, before it starts on the bench, I'll take a couple deep breaths and close my eyes and just literally picture myself making good passes, making good runs, doing good headers, you know, things that are a bit challenging. And if I see myself doing those in my head, there's more chance that I will succeed when I do those on the field. I truly believe that. And it also calms me down. Like, you know, you're getting all worried. You're like, oh, what if my first touch is bad? Oh, what if I sewer my teammate? And what if I score an own goal? Well, if you envision yourself, you know, saving an own goal instead of scoring an own goal, I think there's more chances that that won't happen.
And last thing I'll say on this point is if you practice like you play, like if you get like the team culture where every game is just as competitive at practice as it is in a game, then you're going to learn to manage those emotions and the anxiety that comes up in those competitive games at practice, which will translate to your games in the real game also. Any other questions?
Question.
When you play on the boys team, does everyone get along?
Are you talking to me about my experience? Yeah. They were really, really comforting and like made me feel super welcome. They like, it's not like they were like avoiding passing to me or anything. Like they made me a better player. The coach took me on and took me in like that year, because obviously it's hard to take a girl into the same age level as guys because there is body differences, but he took me on and he played me every game equally as the guys, and yeah, it was really good. They were very welcoming. Yeah.
I have a question. Don't want to jump in front of anyone. What has been the most inspirational moment that you've experienced as a Mariner? And how do you pass that inspiration on to others?
So I have an easy one that comes to mind. It was the national finals in Edmonton last time we were there, and upsetting Champlain, which was the team that had beaten us in one of our first games the year before. They were projected to win the whole thing, and we came back and beat them in a shootout. That was probably the best moment this year.
I think maybe for me personally was 2 years ago. I broke my wrist in like one of the first couple games of the season. So I was out and I was obviously not as confident because I hadn't been playing. And then we hit nationals and I got a chance to play. And I ended up doing pretty well in that game and scoring. And I guess my advice would be to never like give up thinking that you're not going to get any playing chance. Like always be prepared, because like that was the most, like that was my breakaway, and everyone's going to have a breakaway chance. And like I didn't expect it to be like that, because obviously I broke my wrist that whole like for the whole season, but I got a chance and it was the best thing ever. But yeah, that was for me.
Hi, for me, I think mine is I have had 2 serious injury, and when I have a hard time, my teammates or my coaches or my family always help me. So I think, and then I can recover my injury and I can become a better player again. So I think that my inspiration. Thank you.
Favorite team to play against, ladies? This is going to be a really interesting one.
Oh, I think usually it's Douglas is our biggest like, oh, we're ready to like come in and put our A game on. But Cap probably took it last year for us. Like it was I don't know about you girls, but I thought Cap was a little bit scarier last year. But it's usually Cap and Douglas are the ones to be the favorite teams to play against.
Yeah, probably in our league. But I think my favorite teams to play against are the ones we play against at nationals. So they're pretty high caliber, and we always are really strategic about how we plan our attack against those teams. So I really
so
like
true.
it.
So
fun.
Yeah, I think especially those games at nationals, those really test your mental capacity almost and your anxiety on the field, because those 3 games we played, we went in with like, I don't know, a very extensive game plan. We knew what we were doing, when we were doing it, who we were watching. Oh yeah, it was quite stressful. But we won 2 to the 3 games, so it was also like the most rewarding by far.
Maybe I can shed a little bit of light on the video application. So yeah, generally when you're applying to universities, coaches want to see a video. They want to see a highlight reel for between around 4 to 6 minutes. And it has to be your highlights. So make sure you get it checked over by a coach or a parent or someone who knows soccer, because you might only get one shot with that coach, because some coaches are very busy. They get a lot of emails. So make sure you get it checked and it's really a good highlight reel of yourself. Because we've had a layoff, it might not be easy to get clips if you haven't been building them up over the last few years. So maybe just explain to that coach that you're emailing. But yeah, generally you want a video going into the school that you want to go to. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions about the programming, about what it takes to become a student athlete from a coach perspective anyway. And also, what we're doing this year. We can kind of tell you where we're at and what we're doing. And obviously we're all under guidelines right now, but if there's any questions on that kind of play, please feel free to fire ahead.
And I have a question. I often have parents asking me how young is too young to reach out to coaches to start sort of planting the seed for their children for future recruitment years.
Yeah, I would say anything under grade 10 is pretty young.
Okay, so great.
A lot of coaches will start looking in at grade 11 and trying to kind of shore up their top recruits between grade 11 and grade 12. Every coach is different, obviously, and generally the best players, they're really the ones that are kind of representing BC and maybe even some professional programs. They'll get recruited straight out of grade 11. Yeah. But I guess from an athlete perspective, and ladies, you might be able to chime in on this, just kind of gelling all together what you've said. You want to kind of get that student athlete mentality as early as you can, right? Playing the different sports, planning your time, getting the mental aspect down. Would you say you kind of were well prepared for that because of your last few years of high school, ladies?
There's definitely a lot more pressure in university because I know even though we played multiple sports in high school, you're playing the one sport, most days of the week, probably 6 days of the week. So it's going to hit you like a brick kind of in the first kind of few weeks, but eventually you'll love it. And I know we all miss it right now. Like personally, I'm so bored. So it is very possible and it's very fun. So it's so worth the workload.
Yeah, I think I set myself up pretty good coming in from high school. The transition wasn't too bad for me. I played multiple sports my grade 12 year, and then I worked a part-time job. So transitioning to university, my schedule was just as busy. And I think it's really important to have your priorities in check coming into university, prioritizing your academics and your sport. You say like student athlete, student, like you live and breathe your sport. And I just think if you have your priorities in check coming into university and developing those skills coming from high school, you'll be fine and the transition won't be too daunting.
Can I put you on the spot a little bit? What was it like coming into a new country, not speaking the language, not really knowing anybody? Can you give us shed a little bit of light on that?
Okay. Hi, I'm from Japan. So when I was 18 years old, I went to Nanaimo from Tokyo. And at the first time, I was very nervous to go to Nanaimo because I don't know anyone in there and I don't know how to speak English. And so I was very nervous, but everyone was so kind in Nanaimo, and everyone helped me a lot. So as I joined for VIU team, I get along with my teammates or my coaches, and so it was very good experience, I think.
Thanks, Kanai. Thanks.
Thank you.
What about any messages out there from the panel to young soccer players, young female soccer players, if they want to become a student athlete? What couple of things that we haven't mentioned that might really be beneficial to them?
I think one thing that's important is realizing at a young age, like I remember growing up playing against other teams in my club, and you have certain players that aren't necessarily your favorite on the other team, but one day they're going to become your teammates. And I remember someone saying that to me when I was younger, and I was like, yeah. But like, it's true. All the best players that I played with in my club years are now all on the same team, and we're best friends. So it's really unique, and they're actually, so if you think about that, they're probably a lot more like you than you think they are on the field.
Yeah, Kaden, do you have a question? No?
Hi.
Okay.
You're in grade 4, kid, and that's awesome that you came and you joined us. And that's what it's all about, really being accountable as early as possible, and taking charge of your own life, and you can do whatever you can if you work hard at it and you have a goal in your mind. And doing these extra little things definitely helps. One thing I always tell young athletes is, and this is something I wish someone had told me when I was younger, you do have to do that little bit of work off the field. So either get a gym program or figure out some sort of plyometric body weight program as well, going into at least the last year, the last grade of your school, maybe even earlier, because it's all about injury prevention, not so much the strength, and the strength will come, but it's about injury prevention as well. So trying to get a soccer-based strength program outside of your soccer program is hugely beneficial for, yes, building strength, but more importantly, building injury prevention as well.
I agree. That's huge, because going into my first year, I had no idea how to do injury prevention or lift properly. And so it was a big news flash for me when I went to our first gym session, and they killed me. But it was so good, because I was like, I was lifting wrong this whole time. I was not doing the proper things I need to do. So this is good. And I'm still learning. I still have to check my form on everything and make sure I'm doing it right. But our gym programs are really good as well.
So yeah, Kaden, this is the university team. So they're all at university, and we compete at the collegiate level in the CCAA. So we compete across the country, provincially first, and then across the country in the college league. But we are a university, yes.
Kaden, are you going to play university soccer, do you think, or some sort of sport? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I see a question. Messi or Ronaldo?
Oh gosh.
Ronaldo.
It was in the chat. Yeah.
I will always say Messi. I think he's a little bit more of a team player.
I agree, Larissa. Messi for me.
Oh, that is hard. Yeah, I think I would go with Messi as well.
Yeah, Messi.
Who asked that, Kaden?
George.
I wondered if I could put Zoe on the spot.
Messi every day. Not even a question.
So Zoe, on my first season, Zoe was fifth year. Zoe, were you fifth year on my first season?
Yeah.
So Zoe graduated and is, as you heard at the beginning, is coming to as a coach, a really valuable coach in the program. What was that transition like, Zoe, going from player to coach?
It was a bit tricky at first. I think I had a little bit of an advantage just because I was older when I did graduate. So it wasn't as tricky as you might have thought. But yeah, definitely different roles, stepping from a teammate into more of a coaching role was an adjustment, but I think it definitely paid off and it's been great ever since.
And Zoe is probably the only person I've met who actually changed her position a couple of times in the program and managed to stay at a very high level. So do you think that's a good message for young soccer players out there to play different positions, things like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think switch it up as much as you can until you get to a competitive level and you really have to start specializing. But I think having experience in almost all of the positions really helped me in all of the other positions I played. Like my knowledge from being a goalkeeper really helped me on the back line, and being a striker really helped me as a defender. So yeah, I think it was all beneficial for sure.
Cool, thanks, Zoe.
No problem.
Do we have any more questions from the group?
I have another. I mean, gosh, I could ask questions for hours though. So maybe I just have one more. Maybe.
Please, yeah, go ahead.
And it's actually for Zoe, because to become a sort of a female teacher coach is a pretty big deal, and it's a pretty big step. And so, what motivated you to do that, and what are you hoping to get from that and to learn from that?
That's a really good question. I think the motivation came from really just loving soccer and wanting to help contribute to a program that gave so much to me. So any way that I could give back really meant a lot. And from that, I've actually have had so many different experiences. I've moved to Port Alberni and now I'm helping with their youth association. And there's a new program coming to the island called She Plays. It's an all girls development program. And so we're helping to get that started up on the island. And yeah, I just really want to stay involved and hopefully inspire other girls to know that they can coach too. Yeah.
Nice. Does anyone else have any questions?
Okay, well, maybe I can just wrap this up by just saying where we're at as a program. So obviously we're under kind of strict guidelines right now, and hopefully there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're very optimistic. But so we're training right now every Sunday, and Fridays they might come as well. So if you are interested, if you're enrolled in a course at VIU and you're interested in training, please just reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat. And then as we go into the spring, we'll hopefully getting out on the field a lot more. And then if for those who are in high school still and they want to train or they want to be seen, again, just shoot me an email and we'll try and figure that out. It's obviously going to look a lot different this time around recruiting wise, but we'll do our best to get some eyes on you. And if you just want some general information and advice on how to become a student athlete, or what route is the best to take, or maybe when you want to reach out to some of the players, we're happy to do that. We really want to be a community program, community team, and like I said, there's tremendous role models here, and I for sure I'm very proud to lead this program. Ladies, athletes, anything from you to finish off on?
No, I thought that was good. I hope lots of people see it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. I've recorded this, so I'll also send a link out. And please reach out if you have any questions. Good night, everybody.
Good job, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.